From the hardcore to something funk to something laid back. It's time for the Music Class. Join us for an afternoon of music and appreciate the art behind every tune and beat. Listen to engaging performances and insights from some of the top and upcoming musicians in the scene today. Tune in every Fridays from 1 to 2 p.m. here on The Music Class. Let the music class begin.
Good afternoon, guys. It's Gab here. I'm back here on Radio Katipunan 87.9 FM. And it's 19 days until Christmas, if I did my math right. Is that right? So it's I think so. I hope so. It's 19 days until Christmas, and this is a good time for all performing artists because we get bookings every weekend, at the very least. So we'll kind of get into like the performance part later, but I also want to congratulate everyone for reaching Friday. Happy weekend. Christmas break is almost upon us. For those that are still students, for the people who are working, wala tayong Christmas break, sorry guys. We're working on Christmas most of the time, especially us in production and performance. We always have projects, but we get to do what we like. So that's like a fair trade. Also, I hope you were all safe and dry after Tisoy. Tisoy was pretty strong. I work with End-Time Fitness in Katipunan across Ateneo, and we were pre-selling right now, and the booth was witness to really strong wins. Like, yeah, I mean the days leading up to it, the banners even from Coffee Project and like even the MMDA barrier, the orange ones, they would all like, yeah, flying all over. And just wanna make sure that everyone is safe, sound. I know we got some regions that are still in pretty bad shape. I think Beato is still in blackout, unfortunately. So we hope and pray that they get power before Christmas. You know, it's because is known for being a very happy region. So we're praying for you guys. What do we got up on the menu? Okay. So want to take a shout out to AMP also at Name Musicians Pool. You'll be hearing more and seeing more of them on the show. Me and the external VP and the president, we're trying to work something out. Maybe integrate maybe their playlist or their current artist roster into this. And they have a playlist on Spotify, actually. I have yet to access that. I'll meet them later, and then I'll find out. But also, for all you guys on Spotify Premium, Spotify just released the Decade Unwrapped. So it's like a summary of all your listening for the decade and for the year. They kind of do this every year now, and it's a good way for you to review what music you were listening to or what you were going through the years. I think my own was a lot of. I used to play for Never the Strangers, so from 2014 to 2016, my listening hours were mostly them. So that's just because I needed to listen to the tracks and review them and get ready for performing them and learning and relearning them. And then later on, I think I took a break because I was in the US and Apple Music came along, and my minutes died down when I was in 2017, 2018. And then I shot back up because I was listening to music a lot more in the gym when I started becoming more of a personal trainer. That's my day job, by the way. I moonlight as a bassist and as a musician. But being a fitness person or a fitness professional, music is really integral to the process. Whether it's your background music at your club, whether it's something you're blasting in your headphones, you're going to shoot for PRs, or maybe you're a vlogger, a fitness vlogger, influencer, what have you. Music is always part, and Spotify did a really good job of making music accessible at every level, even if it's like free. But yeah, for the premium users, I think Spotify tracks your data a little bit more closely. So watch out for next year, 2020. I hope to see all of you guys, and I hope to get some of my artists on there. Shout out to Shim, by the way, of Haru Stories PH. He's actually on my top 5 because I've been listening to his song Panahon, which is used for one of the programs here actually. And one of the reasons why I did that was because I was trying to learn the piece, but also it's a really great song. You should listen to it. A little shout out to you, Shim, if you're listening to live or on the replay. So going back to music and fitness, we've been doing a lot of research lately. Us meatheads, we're not just in the gym like lifting weights. We actually think about a lot of things. And there's this entity called ACE, which is the American Council on Exercise. And they published an article or a blog post, I think 4 years ago. And it was from 2005. And it's basically titled Music and Exercise, How Music Affects Exercise Motivation. So it kind of outlines a bunch of stuff here. So number 1 on the list is music reduces feelings of fatigue. Research indicates that music keeps us from focusing on the physical sensations of fatigue, particularly during lower intensity exercise. Distraction from fatigue varies from person to person, as everyone's personal fitness level plays a role, but music can help you push yourself harder during your workouts. So I think most gym goers will probably relate with this. Or even if you're doing like smaller tasks, you know how you always have like background music even when you study, maybe. Chill beats to study to, I think, is a playlist on YouTube. But yeah, especially during cardio, like low intensity steady state cardio, you're gonna need some music for that because it gets boring, or you might want to read a podcast, which has the same function as music. But you definitely want to maybe synchronize your cardio with the tempo also, which is actually the next one. Music improves motor coordination. So exercising to music can help motor and movement coordination, such as moving to the beat of the music during a group fitness class. So all you Zumba titas out there, and you retro pop funk dance classes attendees. There's really something to, I think it's innate. It's like an evolutionary thing. When you hear a beat, there's vibrations, and your body just responds to those vibrations. And when the body is in sync with music, people often experience a boost in self-confidence, which creates a positive association with exercise. So the better the music, the better the playlist, the better the exercise experience, the more likely you are to keep going into the class, keep coming back, and actually, reap the progress, reap the benefits out of it. Another one is music increases mental arousal. So altering the mind's arousal state with music will result in an increased exercise performance, as if the music is psyching one up to perform exercise better. So I'm a power lifter. I like to lift heavy weights. Every time I go for a big squat, which is my weakest lift due to some lingering injuries here and there, I always have my favorite song on there, and it just helps me. I used to not like it as much because I would like to focus on the task at hand, but as the motor patterns got ingrained a little bit more, it's like music too. It's like you're not really thinking about going ahead and remembering all the notes on the fretboard per se. Some of it is muscle memory. So once you got that down, and you need more of a mental boost rather than a physical reminder, music can really help. And that quote, altering the mind's arousal state with music will result in increased exercise performance, etc., was wrote by researchers all the way back in 1987. So people have been studying this for a long time, and I don't think there's any studies that refute this. Additional research has shown that there are direct connections between auditory neurons to motor neurons. So once again, you respond to music stimulus. That's why there are dancers. That's why you always nod your head when there's a beat playing. That's why some people like to headbang. I used to headbang. I don't anymore because my neck hurts a lot. And regardless of what you hear, your brain and body will react. So there's definitely a connection there. Also, for you guys who take yoga classes or meditation classes or anything that's more of a cool down, quote unquote, some of the byproduct molecules of high level exercise, such as acidosis and elevated hormones, which contribute to fatigue, may somehow be dampened by music, thus enhancing performance. So once again, if you're like in a yoga class, I was just at the gym last night. There was a yoga class going on, and it really does help to have like some soothing music going on. I think the class was more enjoyable that way. The timbre of the instructor's voice plays a lot, actually, with how relaxing or soothing or effective a class is. But also the background music that they choose. So it's not always go go go. You know, it's not always like heavy headbanging metal. Cuss out rap or whatever. Sometimes you need to also relax, which is actually needed because if you have a stimulus, you also need to recover for your body to adapt. So it's training as a stimulus, but you also need to recover, and then that makes you adapt in a more long-term way. At least you're not always burnt out. And it's a pretty long post. I'm not gonna go into everything here, but there are definitely certain types of music that you want to listen to depending on your activity. So if it's a slower warm-up, maybe it's like 120 to 126 beats per minute. If it's like weightlifting or something that'll get you psyched up, or you're trying to time your cardio with your steps, with your music, maybe something faster, 128 to 135. And there's also an extra boost in motivation, which can sometimes get you over the pain that you sometimes feel during exercise, whether it's from muscular tension or from just blood flow. And other than that, being a performing artist, it's a physical job. I mean, you can do all the virtual performances that you like, you know, take videos or be a hologram like Michael Jackson. Does anybody know what I'm talking about? But definitely, if you're a live performing artist, you know it's kind of tiring. You're always sweaty after gigs unless the aircon is blasting all throughout your face, or you have a fan beside you. But me personally, being a bassist, my instrument is pretty heavy. So like my posture has always been, you know, I'm always like chest out, back straight. Try not to move too much, but if you're having fun and you're fit enough, you can move a lot, and that energy also translates to your audience. So regular cardio exercise can have a huge positive effect on a person's ability to breathe. This is especially true when the cardio is combined with a good core strength regimen. That is so true, because if your core is weak, your posture is slouched, which also affects your breathing, which also affects your posture, which also affects your performance. So better breathing definitely contributes to better performance, and you got to exercise for that. There's also, once again, improved posture. I think Phil Collins almost retired prematurely before his mind was really ready to, but his back was just giving out, and it's just because all of those years of the repetitive bad posture and like the challenging posture that you have to do while you drum. People don't know this. A lot, maybe people my age don't know this, but my parents got me into Phil Collins really young, when he was still the drummer for Genesis, and he was drumming for a really long time, and he almost retired prematurely. Also, for us, for anybody that carries a heavy instrument, say you're in a marching band, or you have a heavy bass, or or maybe you're a tuba player, what have you. Strengthened muscles definitely contribute to a better performance and longevity into your career. So if you're making music into a career, definitely think about going ahead and getting yourself a strength program. That will help you not only enjoy your performance more, it'll help you perform longer for better, and also keep any nagging back pains away. Definitely want to check into that. If you're experiencing back pain now, you might want to ask a coach. There's also increased coordination because it's such a physical it's a physical endeavor. Strength training and cardio and restorative exercise modalities also increase coordination because it allows you to be more aware of what you're doing with your hands. Like, how much force am I applying to this note? How much breathing am I applying to my performance? If you're a dancer or if you like to dance while you sing, that's on you. So you definitely gotta increase your coordination for that. And I think it was Plato, if I'm not mistaken. He also related exercise to clearer thinking, which actually helped him to improve his mental clarity. So exercise after a fatiguing day of production and recording and performance, you need to have time for yourself. And I think exercise helps with that. And other than that also gives you more inspiration for music making. So that's something that we all strive to. We need inspiration, we need clarity, we need health. And if you want to get to a healthier place, just want to let you know that Anytime Fitness Katipunan right across Ateneo is pre-selling. I'll actually be a coach there, more of a strength and conditioning coach. We also have a bodybuilding coach if you're into that. If people like Karen De La Fuente takes lots of pictures of you, go ahead and do yourself a favor and understand the benefits of exercise for not just for your health, but also for your music career. I definitely see a lot of people, celebrities, it's part of it. It's not just the image, it's also the quality of the performance. And just to kind of bring this all home, back in November, I don't know if anyone knows Ben and Ben. They're pretty popular, right? I'm just kidding. Of course they're popular. So, shout out to Andrew DePano. He's my good friend. I haven't seen you in a while. I hope to see you soon. You're losing weight. That's good for you. And I'm so happy for you. But also, one of their lead vocalists, Paulo Benjamin Guico of the band Ben and Ben, he posted on social media that he wasn't very happy with his weight before. And now he looks great and he feels better. So definitely the fitness and music performance side, and in terms of how you integrate it into your workouts, they're almost inseparable. So definitely, if you want good music, if you want a healthier lifestyle, if you want to increase your longevity and maybe enhance your career and just feel good about yourself, go ahead. AF Katipunan Vista Residences, same condo as Coffee Project, is still on pre-selling, so they got discounts for you guys. So if you see me there, don't be afraid to say hi. But I will definitely be looking forward to helping all of you. And this is the first episode with more of a fitness aspect. I want to thank Raja Katipunan for letting me integrate my two loves, which is music and fitness. I personally think they're pretty inseparable. And after the break, we'll go ahead and check out with our friend Rick Beato. Rick Beato did a review of one of my favorite artists before, and I want to share that with all you guys, and then we got a playlist for you guys, okay? So see you around on campus, see you at Katipunan, and Merry Christmas.
Katupuneros, don't change that dial, because we'll be coming right back. This is your stop for all things pop. Catch our all-around pop culture geek, Cholo Sediaren, as he throws in some dose of what's poppin' and what's hot in the pop culture scene here on Popcorn. Lunch in with us every Thursdays from 4 to 6, only here on Radyo Katipunan, 87.9 FM. Ignite your soul and set the world on fire. Be inspired by the stories of faith. This is Ignited to Inspire. Brought to you by the Ateneo Junior and Senior High School Campus Ministry. Every Thursdays from 1 to 2 p.m. here on Radyo Katipunan, 87.9 FM. Be ignited. Be inspired.
All for you, Jesus, my Lord.
Radyo Katipunan is now online. See our live feed on facebook.com/Radyo Katipunan. Check out our Instagram and our Twitter at Radyo Katipunan. And subscribe to our YouTube channel at Radyo Katipunan FM for more exclusive content.
I am back, and we're gonna check back with our favorite producer, musician, music teacher, YouTuber, all-around great guy when it comes to music. His name is Beato. I've featured his stuff here a few times already, and he did a feature of one of my favorite modern guitarists, who goes by the name Plini. Plini is Australian in origin, and he's been called the modern Steve Vai. Now, Steve Vai integrated a lot of virtuoso type playing and also some orchestral tracks to kind of enrich the sound. But Plini combines that with more of a gent modern metal rock type sound. It's very theatric, and once that video is done, I just want to introduce you guys to Chon also. I don't think with the time, I don't think we'll be able to cut through the video and actually have me on camera again. So we'll just go straight into the playlist. But Chon is another of these bands that, without using words, can really tell a story. And the song I chose for featuring them is actually called Story. And the next one after that is Plini once again. It's a different song from the one that Rick Beato featured. This one is Every Piece Matters. And the story of the song actually is that it was for funding electricity for Indonesia. And Plini got volunteers from his fan base to go ahead and buy a copy of my album and record yourselves with this riff that he composed, and he took everyone's voice and integrated that into the recording at the end, which is really amazing. And they raised a lot of money for Indonesia, if I'm not mistaken. Somebody can correct me in the comments if you want. And the last one is Polyphia. Polyphia were here last year around November. They're more like edgy, kind of trashy Californians. No, they're not from California. They like to push the limit, but this song that they have is really It's really radio friendly, and I like to introduce it to everyone. It's called Crush. I have a huge crush on this song, pun intended. And yeah, I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Have a great weekend. 19 days till Christmas. And good luck with finals, because I know a lot of students are catching up with finals and requirements right now with a 3-day suspension. And once again, if you want to see more of me, you want to train with me, I'll be right there at AF Katipunan Vista Residences, right beside Coffee Project. We're opening up soon, and I hope to see you guys soon. Thanks, and have a great day.
Hey everyone, I'm Rick Beato. On today's Everything Music, it's What Makes This Song Great, episode 72. We're going to do something new in the series. This is our first instrumental song. The artist's name is Plini. He's a guitarist from Australia. He's a fantastic player. The song is called Electric Sunrise. It's coming up next. I first heard of Plini when I was talking with Steve Vai a couple years ago. He asked me if I had heard of him. And I said, no, I don't know who that is. He said, well, he's an Australian guitarist. You should really check out his record. So I went and looked on Spotify, and I saw this song, Electric Sunrise. It was the first track on there, had the most plays. So I put it on. I thought, wow, this is great. It's progressive rock, has some metal elements to it, but it's very melodic. I can see why Steve really digs it. Some of you may recognize the song from a video I did about 6 months ago where I was talking about how to count odd time signatures. This particular song is in 13/8, the main riff is, and I showed how to count it, and I'll talk more about that in this episode. So let's check out the top of the song. Okay, so this opening riff here is the note E flat, but it's played in a 13/8 time signature. Now, it's not obvious to the listener at first. It just sounds like that there's a pattern to it, but it's not an obvious pattern. It's not really obvious until the riff comes in, but let's talk about what's going on here. So you have that one single note there. There's a little pad behind it, but then you have these acoustics that come in right here. Let's listen. All right, let me talk about the intro of the tune. So it begins with that E-flat drone, but I'm going to speak of this as if it's in the key of E. The guitar tuning that I have here is just drop down to E-flat, drop down a half step. So the chord progression that happens at the top is a D major 7 with no third. Okay, so it's D, A, C sharp, E. Once again, I'm speaking as if this is a half step above because it's easier. I don't want to say D flat, major 7, no third, so it get confusing. Then it goes to a D6 chord. And then eventually the second chord comes in and it's an E6 chord to E major. Then it goes to F sharp minor 11. You can think of it like this. To E over G sharp with the sus4 in it. But he's playing here, so he's going there to. So it would be half step there. So you got the fourth and the third, fourth, then the fifth, and the root. Beautiful, beautiful sound. There's a lot of these dissonant chords in this particular song and in Plini's music in general that make it, I think, really beautiful and melancholy. One thing I wanted to talk about as well is the plugin that you saw at the very beginning. That plugin is a plugin that was made by a partnership with Plini and Neural DSP. It's his own plugin that just came out recently, and it actually has the Electric Sunrise presets in it, so we're going to be using it for today's video. During this intro section, we have some really beautiful keyboard pads along with these lines that are bell-like. Let me solo them for you. Organ. Beautiful. Then the drums come in with the accents right here. The drums start really long verb. This is our build into the main riff here. Starting to swell. Now this swell here is happening. It's an organ swell. Let's check it out. So that's going behind the main riff. Let's check out the main riff next. Okay, let's talk about 13/8 now. 13/8 in this case is counted like this: 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 1. You have 4 groups of 3, that equals 12, and then you have a group of 1, so it's 4 plus 1, which gives you this feel of 13/8. The main riff, however, is played in 16th notes. Let me show you how that's divided up. That's the first line, and the second line goes. If I play it up to tempo, it goes something like this. Let me solo the lead so you can hear the effects on it. If you listen really closely, there's a very long delay on the main lead, which gives it its ethereal vibe, right? So it's that kind of delay. Another thing I want to point out is this line that comes in, the next melody line that goes. But there's actually a couple. You'll hear this screaming sound. Let me play it for you. It's really amazing. Notice it has a really low guitar in there too. It sounds like there's probably about 4 or 5 guitars right in that one overdub, but it just sounds incredible. Next, I'd like to talk about the rhythm guitars, the chunking parts. Let's check those out. So those chord voicings here, so I've got, once again, I'm drop D flat. Okay, so drop down a half step and then drop D. And it's this... My favorite part is the ending chords when it goes between the... then the last chord. Really beautiful, that E sus over G sharp. Really E flat sus over G, but it's gorgeous. Those last two chords. If I were to take those chords from the guitar to the piano, you hear they sound great on the piano as well. So you got this D flat major 7, no third over F. And then we have the E flat sus 4 with the G in the bass. So you get this beautiful minor 9 and that half step there, that dissonance. That's what creates that melancholy mood to that section. Next, I want to check out Simon Grove's bass part. It's a really interesting part. I'm going to lower the rhythm guitars and push the bass up so you can actually hear what he's playing. I've got this Dark Glass plugin that is made by it's the same company Dark Glass makes the Plini plugin as well. So he starts out with this. Now it's low strings rattling because it's not really set up to be played this low, but... Then when he gets to the second set of chords, he goes... Then my favorite part is... Let me play along with it. Next, let's check out Troy Wright's drum part during the same section. Next, I'd like to talk about what we're going to call the verse section. It's this riff which starts out... Let me try and play along with it. Then we go into this bell-like guitar part that Plini plays that I want to go over. Then we're into the solo. Let me go over those chord voicings here. They're really cool. It starts out with these fourth voicings, but then it goes to this beautiful voicing with the major seventh in it, and this minor and the major second, and then fourth, and then it goes to that same shape, and then to a dominant seventh shape to a major triad there. So. Really, really beautiful. That's one of the presets again on the Neural DSP plugin. During this clean guitar part, the bell-like guitar part, there's a, shall we say, slightly djenty part that goes on in the rhythm. Let's check it out. But really the cool part that happens is what's going on in the drums. Listen to the drum part here. Oh! Then we're into the solo. So this next part is the beginning of the lead break. It's actually not the actual solo, but it's about 25 guitars playing together. Check it out. me solo it so you can actually hear what's being played. Check it out. It's great. Love the whammy bar that's going on in there too. Then it comes back to this breakdown section here, but it's a lower dynamic. Love all the reverb and delay. And then we have the return of the acoustic. This leading us up to the solo break. Right here. What I love about Plini's playing is all the different textures that he gets when he's playing his solos. He bounces off the delays really well. Check this out. Awesome. Right there, all the little muted parts that he brings in too. Listen. This is my favorite part. And he comes out of it with that pick squeal, but listen to it. I'm going to solo this. Listen. It's perfectly bouncing off the delay. I mean, his time is so solid there. That lick with the sus4 arpeggio in the middle of it is one of my favorites in the solo. Let me play it slowly. And this part of it, it's hard to play. So moving on from that, beautiful. This. So all the different, the pinch harmonics, the really staccato notes, the muting, this is great. Listen to this here. The slides. Great flow. Love that. Pentatonic lick, awesome. And there's those beautiful, clean chords with a whammy part. Okay, this is my favorite part in the song. This little transition back to the riff. Let's check out some of the layers in this next section. Acoustics and then the synths. And then you have the backwards effect here that leads you in. That backwards snare. That sucks you back into this transition, back into the riff. That little transition there, check out the bass and drums. And then add in the rhythm guitars. It's just so heavy. And then you put it all together. He has that screaming sound again. Beautiful, beautiful. There's a double, you hear the octave in there. Then we're back. then we're back into the main riff. That's where the 7-string enters. You can hear that really low-tuned guitar, right? Let's check it out here. Let's check it out in context. Right here. That's all for now. Please subscribe here to my Everything Music YouTube channel. If you're a new subscriber, remember to ring the bell. If you're interested in the Beato book, go to my website at www.rickbeato.com. Follow me on Instagram at rickbeato1. And if you want to support the channel even more, become a member of the Beato Club. Thanks for watching.
Radyo Katipunan, 87.9 FM. Radyo Katipunan, 87.9 FM. From the hardcore to something funk to something laid back. It's time for the Music Class. Music Class. Join us for an afternoon of music and appreciate the art behind every tune and beat. Listen to engaging performances and insights from some of the top and upcoming musicians in the scene today. Tune in every Fridays from 1 to 2 p.m. here on The Music Class. Let the music class begin.